We're back with another episode of Jimmy Tells Tales, where Jimmy tells us all his favorite stories. Tell us another story, Jimmy.
Hi there. Today's story is called Wally the Worm. And the moral of the story is, if you can think about something and wish for something hard enough, it can come true. Now, before there were caterpillars, there were only worms. Only worms. And Wally the Worm, he lived up in a tree. And he slept in a leaf. Yeah, he slept up in a tree in a leaf. Well, this one night, when he was asleep, a storm came up. A big, big storm. And it rattled all the leaves and it shook the tree, and all of a sudden, Wally's leaf became loose. Oh, and you could hear Wally hanging on going, woo-ah, wee! All the birds and bees in the woods heard, wee! And they wondered, what's going on with Wally? And all of a sudden, ploop! Wally landed, and he landed in a stream of water. Whoa! He went from wee to wow! This is incredible! Because he went down the stream, and the farther the stream went, the faster it went, and Wally held onto the sides of it, of his leaf, and he had a tremendous time. And at the end of the day, the stream flowed into a large lake which was calm, and Wally, having an extremely busy, trying day, fell sound asleep. Yes, he fell sound asleep. But before he fell sound asleep, he was wondering, how in the world am I going to get home? I can only crawl. How can I get home? And just then, a little boy came walking by with a fishing pole. And he said to that little boy, how do you go so fast? And the little boy said, that's simple. I have 2 legs, can you see? And Wally said, yes, you have 2 legs. And that night before going to sleep, Wally said, I wish I had 2 legs. Oh, wow. And don't you know, well, that was him talking to the boy. Yeah, and that night he wished he had 2 legs. That way he could go faster also. And when he woke up in the morning, Wally, look, he had 2 legs. And he walked all day long on his 2 legs. But he didn't really get that far. And that night before falling asleep, he looked up and he saw a spider web. And he saw this spider running across the web. And Wally said, how do you go so fast? And the spider said, very simple. I have 8 legs. Wally said, yeah, that's what I need, 8 legs, and then I can really go fast and I can get home again. That night, before falling asleep, Wally wished that he had 8 legs. And lo and behold, what do you think happened to him in the morning? You better believe it. He woke up and look at that. He had his 8 legs, and he walked all day long, but he really didn't get that far. Oh, and that night before going to sleep, he looked up on a rock, and there was a centipede zooming across the rock. Well, he said, wow, you really move fast. How can I move that fast? And the centipede said, simple. If you had 1,000 legs like I have, you'd move very, very fast. So Wally said, that's so true. That is so, so true. So he wished he had 1,000 legs, and the next morning he woke up, he had 1,000 legs. Oh my goodness. And he traveled all day long. He didn't really get that far. Oh, so that night, just before falling asleep, he was very tired. He looked up and a bird flew over him. He said, wow, look at how fast. I don't believe it. And he said to the bird, how do you travel so fast? And the bird said, it's obvious. I have 2 wings. It's obvious. You need wings. Yes, I do. And that night, before falling asleep, Wally said, now, you have to understand, it was getting cold now. Wintertime was coming. And that night before falling asleep, Wally made himself a warm cocoon. Yes, he knew during the night he'd be very cold. So he made a warm cocoon because he was now a caterpillar. He had 1,000 legs. He became a caterpillar. So he made himself a cocoon. And that night he fell asleep, but he didn't wake up in the morning. Oh no, siree. He slept all winter long, as all caterpillars do. All winter long. And then one bright spring morning, he woke up. Oh, he said, wow, what a night, what a good sleep I had. And he went to stretch, and whoa, when he stretched, 2 wings popped out. He said, wow, I have wings. I have wings. Incredible, look at those wings. Yeah, unbelievable. And you know what he did then? He told everybody, look, I'm a beautiful butterfly, and now I can fly anywhere I want to go. And the moral of this story is, if you think about something, if you plan on something, keep your mind on it, you can become anything you want. Thank you.